me. This is the third go for this reading. I'm doing a reading on Mike Pence. He's July. I've already got 4 or 5 cards laid out. I'm doing the same set out that I did for Donald Trump the other day. Princess of Wands or Page of Wands. This is my tattletale card. Somebody's telling tales to somebody else, and Trump and Pence is walking into that situation at the moment of what the hell's going on with all the screaming and yelling at the White House, apparently. The challenge with that is, for him this week, is just the truth. You've got to try and either soften the truth or stop it from coming out. Advice. This is the 8 of Cards. Advice is just walk away, buddy. And I pointed out before, this is the 8 of Cups card in the Druidcraft deck, and it's got an eclipse happening. So that's, I didn't realise that before. So that's interesting because you've currently recently just gone through an eclipse not so long ago. And at the end of this week, Saturday, Sunday, over the weekend, things are settling down a bit back in the White House, and maybe Pence is settling himself into the White House a little bit, or thinking of it. I'm not quite sure. I can't see him being president. I just can't see that happening, but we'll have to wait and see what the cards say. Next week, the week starting Monday the 12th, I think. No, Monday the 8th. The Prince of Cups, the Knight of Cups. This is interesting because this came up in the reading I did a few hours ago about what was going down in the White House with Pence being called back mid-trip. Someone not who they're presenting themselves to be. So I think this situation is still going to be in the forefront of things next week, even though it might not be public what's going on. Okay. Okay. The challenge for next week. Do they have the strength to get them through it? Okay. And that's finding strength. That's the challenge for next week. I think next week's going to prove to be pretty rocky for some reason. Advice for next week. 10 of Cups. A lot of readers, this is the GOP. I think the GOP are going, as a group, are going to have to get together and talk some things over. That's very interesting. Normally this is a facade. Everyone's looking at the shiny rainbow. This has got the rainbow in it. But unlike a lot of Ten of Cups cards where they're all just looking at the rainbow, this family are sitting around. There's the baby and the young lad and the father and the mother. And there's discussion going on here. So I'd say that next week, advice is there's going to need to be a lot of discussion going on within the GOP. I think especially the Senate. How are things going to be at the end of next week, which is the weekend, 13th, 14th, something like that. We've got the King of Cups. I've said this in other readings. King of Cups has always been, for me, has always been Trump. No difference with this. He's still going to be there. He's still going to be president. He's causing problems. He's emotionally unstable. He's drunk on power. He's calmed down a bit. But he's still hanging over Mike Pence's head, I suppose, if you want to put the situation with him. Excuse me. Hello, back. just noticed something. My husband was just making a coffee and he didn't want to be making the noise in the background. That's why I paused it. Anyway, I've just noticed something when I was waiting for him to finish. The advice for this week is going to be someone's got to walk away. Next week, the advice is the GOP's got to talk about it as a group. It could be that they're realising they have to tell Trump he's got to walk away, that it's time to do it. He's got to go. We'll wait and see. Bring that down a bit. I'll bring this light up a bit. I've got an extra light happening just because it's dark here and the dining room light isn't quite enough, so trying to not blind me but provide more light. So, oh, it's always the way, isn't it? To light or not to light? That is the question. Anyway, the third week, which is the week that Robert Mueller is due to testify. Judgment, rebirth. In this deck, judgment. It's going to lead to, judgment can lead to a new beginning. There's definitely going to be some judgment during that week. And the challenge, the wheel, karma, destiny, O Fortuna. I think with Mueller testifying, a few things are going to come out that are going to bite Mike Pence in his lily white backside. I think someone's going to ask some questions about him I think something's going to come out about him, and he's going to have to, that's what his challenge is going to be during that week, is fighting really the inevitable. The advice for that week, the Prince of Pentacles. Have someone around you who is steady and reliable. Maybe a good lawyer. People often say that some other readers say the Knight of Pentacles can represent a lawyer. So perhaps he needs to get his legal ducks in a row. At the end of that week, I'll just double check the date for that week. At the end of that week, that weekend following that is 20th, 21st. So the Five of Swords. He might have had a victory during the week in some way, but it's going to be a pretty hollow one, and that's how he's going to end the week, feeling like he's won a hollow victory. Could be a hollow victory over Trump from the previous week. But, yeah, maybe his good, reliable lawyer will get him out of something, but it's victory without honour. Hollow victory. The week starting Monday the 22nd. Partnerships. It's the lovers, partnerships, working with others. The week's going to see him working with others. So that's interesting. It could be forming a new partnership with somebody. The challenge for that week, the Prince of Swords. To not charge in and create more chaos. The challenge is to not charge in without thinking. The challenge is going to be not to act before thinking. I'll be doing some clarifiers, so the advice for that week. Queen of Swords is coming for you. If you're not honest with the Queen of Swords, she's going to chop your friggin' head off. So be honest. Tell the truth. When whoever the Queen of Swords is, whether it's male or female, to me, Queen of Swords is another representation of Lady Justice. In this light, I think it is. Not always, just in certain light. And Lady Justice asks you questions, you tell the truth. You'll be better off telling the truth than lying. The end of that week is going to see the Princess of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, maybe some new opportunities. A new opportunity could be offered to him. I'm never really sure how to interpret this, but one interpretation is you're not as smart as you think you are. So the other interpretation I can put on this, and it seems to be the one that I've been using a lot recently with regard to anyone who is in the White House and in that administration, is they haven't been as smart as they think they have been. And as much as I'd like to say this is a new offer about money, I think it's just the same old thing. All their fun and games are being shown for what they are, and they're starting to realise that they haven't been as smart as they think they are. The last half week, I guess, of July, about illumination and enlightenment. That's what they're going to be facing during that week. More stuff coming to light. Maybe something's coming to a head, I don't know. We'll discover that a bit more in a while. The challenge will be finding the right balance. What to say, what to do, how to present themselves. How to find a way to present themselves that they're coming out looking more angelic than devilish. I think that's going to be a pretty bloody big challenge. They're going to try and say, well, adjust the scales so that basically cheating with the scales, readjusting the scales so that they show what you want them to show rather than what actually does show the balance. You know, people do that. They used to do that with some scales for weight. The advice for that week is the Empress. This is a pregnant woman. One of the sayings with men often get told, listen, if your wife's pregnant, listen to her. Listen to what she wants, because if you don't, God help you. And that's just it, you know, because men are seriously scared of, a lot of men, not all men, but some men are seriously scared of pregnancy hormones and upsetting their wives. So the advice is listen to what America wants. One reader often sees, I think it's Autumn from Black and Orange. She often sees the Empress as a representation for America. Others see it as Russia. I don't see this as Russia. I see this as Pence finally realizing that America doesn't want him or Trump there, and he's going to have to start listening to what America wants. And the last one, how's July going to wrap up for him? Never ends with these people. More secrets coming to light. Never ends with these people. So, yeah, that's really interesting. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a clarifier on a few cards. Especially this first week. We'll start with that one first. Look, it just fell out. Queen of Wands, Nancy Pelosi in Congress. They're going to have a lot to say and a lot to do. A lot of action's going to come from Congress, I think, and Nancy. A lot of action. Wands are action. A lot of action coming from Congress during the month of July towards Mike Pence. But the thing I get about this too is that Mike Pence is going to be forced to actually do something for once, and maybe forced to hold that White House together for the next month or so. I'll have a look here. Your ships are coming in, buddy. This is on the bottom of the deck. Your ships are coming in, and you're going to have to deal with what's in the cargo hold. And it could be nasty. So, look at the challenge. No, we'll look at the first one. What's happening during the week? What's this week is all this week is going to be about? The Page of Pentacles. Somebody not being as smart as they thought they were. That's just seems to be what that card is for me, with anyone to do with that administration. That's not necessarily him, though I don't think he's as smart as he thinks he is. But yeah, and the challenge. What about the challenge? The truth is about stopping the truth coming out, so they're not all out in the cold. The advice about walking away, who's that aimed at? That's aimed at the King of Pentacles. That's who that advice is about. King of Pentacles, in this case being Trump, even though I do usually see him as the King of Cups as he is here, he's often seen as the King of Pentacles by many, and that just seems to be to fit with that card. The advice is being they're going to have to start working on him to get him to walk away. The following week, who's this? Who's been misrepresenting themselves, and how are they're going to have to deal with somebody that week about that? The Six of Cups. Six of Cups is nostalgia. Childhood. Somebody's lied about a lot of their past. That just came into my mind. Six of Cups was looking into the past. Knight of Cups is often someone who's not what they seem, or not who they present themselves to be. They romanticize themselves. Somebody in the administration, possibly even Mike Pence himself, has lied about their past in a big way. So the challenge there is strength. For next week is strength. She's got a big wild boar there. She's got a dagger. this is interesting because this woman is taming a wild animal using just herself and not strength. So the challenge is not to overdo it. We'll do one more card on that. Not to overdo it with the King of Cups. That's what it's going to challenge is going to be next week. Anyway, look, I'm going to leave it there for now. I think it's pretty clear that Mike Pence has got a lot of messes to clean up this week. I think maybe Trump's had an epic meltdown. I don't know. But I think Mike Pence has got a lot of messes to deal with this month, and he's got to clean up a lot of messes. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I will be doing a reading in a little while on after my husband's finished his workout on the 4th of July parade, and I'll get that up this evening. Okay, thank you. And please remember to like and subscribe.